Let's talk more about the increasing success of K-pop in the US with Jeff Benjamin. He's a K-pop columnist for Billboard and a senior digital editor for Fuse TV. Let's talk more about the increasing success of K-pop in the US with Jeff Benjamin. He's a K-pop columnist for Billboard and a senior digital editor for Fuse TV, and he comes to us for New York. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
I understand you are a big K-pop fan yourself, so you're the perfect person to talk to us about just why this is significant, not just for K-pop fans, but generally in terms of culture and US music.
Yeah, you know, this is a huge win for BTS, but this is also a huge win for global music at large. America is the biggest music industry in the world, and this is a huge step in showing that Americans are opening their eyes, opening their minds, opening their ears to great music that doesn't necessarily need to be in English. And, you know, that being said, BTS, their music itself, it has messages, it has concepts, it has symbols that go beyond language, that transcend culture. One of my favorite songs on the new album, Love Yourself Tears, called 1340-340, and that's actually the name given to the planet Pluto when it was downgraded from planet to asteroid. And I think everyone's felt that feeling when you are no longer significant to someone or someone who used to be your entire world, and you've been downgraded in that way to not mean a lot. So BTS says something larger than just K-pop music, for sure.
You know, it's a matter of pride too.
Yes.
Not just for South Korea, the South Korean president, but for South Koreans, both in Korea, but also in the diaspora. We have some pretty excited Koreans on our staff here at CNN about this, who take enormous pride that this milestone has been reached. How important is it in a cultural sense, K-pop?
Yeah, you know, South Korea as a country in Asia, it's smaller compared to, you know, bigger countries like China or Japan. And I think there's, you know, even earlier in the program, there wasn't the greatest news coming out of South Korea. K-pop is the country's top cultural export. And to see something that is not only flourishing and so well, but is at one point now the largest album consumed in America for 1 week in the world, that's just a huge something to say that this small country can achieve so much and can, you know, go beyond just being one country amongst many countries, but a country that can shine amongst the other top countries in the world.
Jeff, do you see K-pop becoming even more popular around the world in other markets outside of the US too?
Oh, well, you got to keep in mind that K-pop is really huge in lots of parts of the world. It's been the trend in Asia for a while now, but you see really high and really big concerts in Latin America and South America. I think a lot of people learned about K-pop via Psy and Gangnam Style initially in 2012. And while we haven't had such a visible star like Psy since other than BTS, you know, we've seen ticket sales from tours go be bigger around the world. Album sales have grown in America. Festivals dedicated to K-pop have only grown since then. So I definitely think you're seeing much more people not only getting into this world of K-pop, but really putting their money where their mouth is, for sure.
You know, it's interesting. You touched on this earlier. You know, a lot of people might look at pop and K-pop and just say, oh, it's superficial, it's bubblegum music. But what you were saying is that these guys often write about things that are very important to the youth, social things.
Yes, 100%. And BTS has been really special in that way. I think a lot of times K-pop unfairly gets a tag that it's manufactured or that it's plastic. BTS really is proving to be, 100% the opposite of that. They write their own music, they produce their own music, and it's really set a new standard, I think, in the K-pop industry in particular, that, sharing yourself, sharing your art, sharing what you go through. Like you mentioned, BTS talks about social issues. They talk about their own mental health. They talk about politics. These are things that aren't the most public-friendly topics, but they found a way to make it work and make it sound great and get so many more people to follow them, whether or not they speak Korean or whether or not they understand Korean culture.
Jeff Benjamin, K-pop columnist for Billboard and senior digital editor for Fuse TV. Great to have you on for that chat. Appreciate it.
Yes, hope you guys listen.
Absolutely.
We will, yes. I loved it.
The been playing it all day.
Yeah, I actually have been playing it. Did you hear that earlier?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Sorry about that. It should have been on my headphones.
Trying to work.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Hum a few bars.